So now you're here. You made it.
Happy to be
I'm
here.
so
Awesome.
happy to have you.
Happy Wednesday. It is still Wednesday, I think, right?
I think it's still Wednesday, but who's counting?
Exactly. All right.
All right, so Kevin is here, and Kevin is one of our high conflict negotiation coach graduates, but he's also totally brilliant. He is
Not too
actually
kind.
aerospace engineer and all kinds of other amazing things on his resume. And also has dealt with high conflict people in his life, some narcissists in his life, and um, he is here to tell us some of the things that he's learned, and also I'm going to coach him a little bit so that we can talk about, just kind of walk through the program a little bit, and but first let's hear a little bit more about you.
Absolutely. And I'll say it again, I'm so happy to be here. This has been an interesting journey to get to this point. But yeah, a little bit about how I got to be here for those who are watching this live is I came to Rebecca's programs really feeling very defeated, unprepared, and taken advantage of in a marriage that was unfortunately falling apart after almost 25 years. So it wasn't like we hadn't tried, didn't really, had no idea, didn't really know what to expect. And so some of the things that came up out of that was actually claims that I was guilty of narcissism, which got me down the path of wondering, what is this? What does that mean? Am I the narcissist? What does that mean in a divorce scenario? And I didn't know. And in searching that, I found some of your videos, Rebecca, and a lot of others, but yours were consistently the best. Just common sense advice. It dealt with what I was feeling, feeling and dealing with at the time, and it really helped me get a perspective. And then as I continued on and seeing the your books and the program, the Slay the Bully program, that really appealed to me. I had an attorney at the time who really did not understand how to negotiate with a high conflict individual in a divorce situation, and really felt very unprepared. In that sense, I came to some of the program materials a little bit late, but it did help me actually choose a new attorney at a critical time, and we are still actively working through this. So getting that in place, and I've got the benefit of going through attorney. But one of the things I loved, and maybe we'll talk about, is kind of the top three things that the programs, the slave program, and eventually the high conflict and negotiation coaching program, which really appealed to me because of not only the helping me, but the goal of helping others who have been in my own situation, particularly as hard-headed men that don't think we need any help, that we'll work our way through it, and not recognize we need to deal with the emotions we're feeling and be in the right mental state to really negotiate fairly and look at it from our perspective, not to take advantage of, but to make sure we're not taken advantage of either, to get the best negotiation result possible. So like your program to negotiate like you matter, just hit me, boom, right here, because we matter as well. So the some of those things were kind of starting at the end is what I found in going through particularly the high conflict coaching program is finding a community of like-minded people that just share like crazy. And that sounds like a terrible thing, but it is an awesome thing. You got people looking out for each other who don't know much of anything about each other. We do get a chance to get to know each other over weeks and months, but realizing that if I had needed to, I could, based on the resources of the team, the program and the team, figured out how to effectively pursue the negotiation myself, representing myself, as they say, pro se, I'm glad I did not. I'd rather trust that to a professional, but not everyone has that opportunity or can afford that. And so the ability to get that level of advice within a program that's not technically part of the program, right? It's not legal advice, but there are people who are going through programs all over the country, all over the world, really, that were able to share their experience with representing pro se in different environments. So, which I really enjoyed that as well, because sometimes, particularly my first attorney, needed to be pushed along a little bit, and actually, with support from the team, I wrote a very significant legal filing that hasn't been used yet, but I put it together based on the program and the recommendations. So, really amazing stuff.
The GPT, the negotiation GPT, my Rebecca's on.
Yes. That the GPT was absolutely. I can't find the superlative high enough to really recommend it. So that Chat GPT, that I could ask the questions about my local area. I'm in Central Texas, and understand the court requirements, the even format. I mean, you know that because you've been a lawyer for a long time, that the format and the content are both important. The court does not want to deal with a filing that is incomplete. It's got misspellings, punctuation errors, all that. It needs to be accurate. So that was absolutely amazing. And then the ability to have a back and forth with the Chat GPT, playing scenarios as far as what I was looking to negotiate, what was realistic, what was practical, what were the limits or constraints of the statutes. The Chat GPT that's informed by all your materials was absolutely amazing. Can't recommend that tool high enough.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so somebody's asking what's the GPT. Yeah, so I have my own curated Rebecca Zung negotiation GPT. It's my own AI inside my SLAY program. And as he said, it's informed by all my materials. So I just basically put in my own books and all my top videos and a whole bunch of my materials, a whole bunch of my resources, so that it's informed by all my voice and everything, and created my own AI basically. And you only get access to it if you have my SLAY program, which you guys can check out at slayyournegotiation.com. And that's what he was using to write his own motions and practice his negotiation and all of that. Yeah. And it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So
yeah, it takes the full power of AI along with everything that Rebecca offers and makes a powerful package. So it's not just the SLAY content. It's everything you can find in ChatGPT, the free version online, but it adds all the special access you get through the SLAY program. Adds the rest of that.
It's slayyournegotiation.com, slayyournegotiation.com. So let's do a little coaching. I know you have a mediation coming up. And so let's walk through some of what you've been dealing with. And so we'll walk through some of that. And then I want you to kind of share some of the things that you've learned in the program as well.
Okay, absolutely. So I guess you want me to go ahead and start, right?
Yeah, so if you could just walk through some of what you've been dealing with, and then I'll just kind of share my thoughts.
So to set a little background for those watching, one of the challenges I have, and what I understand from other members of the groups, is it's very important as part of the legal process to separate our emotions, our maybe a highly exaggerated sense of justice versus what the legal system, how the legal system works. So, and the challenge there is, particularly in dealing with a high conflict individual, is I would say their number one job is to trigger your emotions. They're looking to get you emotional, and because that again,
That's the supply that they need.
that's the supply they need, and they use it as part of the negotiation to advance their cause. You, as the non-conflict or lower conflict individual, however you like to look at it, need to remain calm, stay with the slave program. The S is for your strategy. You've got to have to stick to your strategy. So my points today is when you're being pushed off, or the high conflict individuals trying to push you off your strategy by, conversely, either it's a negative, they're looking for their cold level supply by just making everything difficult, or they are coming back to Hoover and they're saying all kinds of nice things, and how did we get, it's all ultimately distraction. So my first point was, when we're dealing with kind of that ongoing emotional manipulation by your high conflict person, and it's making it challenging to stay on your program, to stay on your strategy, to focus on you, what you want out of the negotiation, is how do we get this in the right here? How do we keep our sense of overblown justice, if you will, intact in the context of the negotiation, and return back to core strategy? Just a couple of quick examples. So one of the mediation process is really about distribution of assets, which is certainly financial, but also the stuff. And part of our separation, stuff was taken out of the house that was not supposed to have been, according to court order. It was supposed to have been a discussed thing. Yes, we needed to physically separate and form new households, but the process of that was supposed to be documented, and it was not. So when we go to mediation, and I feel very emotionally that things that I brought to the marriage were taken without consent, without discussion. How do you reestablish a little bit of independence from that emotion to continue your negotiation process going forward? So it's more emotional, but the point of further, I guess the coaching point is, how do we put that on hold? How do we put it back in perspective and focus on strategy?
Oh gosh, that's such a hard thing to do, because and that's the thing that you're never really going to be able to completely take away the emotion piece of it, right? But I think that if you can just say to yourself, okay, what do you think you're going to really probably get in court, right? And like, just take a look at it from an agnostic point of view, and put it down on the spreadsheet. And part of the program, you know that you get a spreadsheet, right, in the program, and just start to just step by step, like, just start taking the steps, and not looking at it from the emotional piece, and just like start putting it down on the paper, and just go, okay, what is the court going to look at? What's the court going to look at? Because the court's going to look at it from 50-50. They're going to start from the premise of 50-50. And that's the way your attorney is going to look at it too. And so you just kind of have to look at it from the lens of what's the court going to look at, and just kind of start backward from there, and then just take a look at it from that lens, and then work backward, because at the end of the day, like, what you're going to be able to walk away with is your whole self intact, your authentic self, your growth, your knowing who you actually are, the fact that you are so much stronger as a result the fact that you have found yourself in this process, the fact that you know who you are. I mean, there's so much more than stuff that is going to come out of this that's so much more meaningful, that's, you know, from a God perspective, that's so much more powerful, so much more spiritual. And, you know, think of it from an abundance point of view. And
I love that.
you know, and stuff is just stuff. Um, and and um, and karma is karma, and it will take care of itself, and you can always make more. um, and and they will always be small, and they will always come from a fear-based place. And so I would just let it go, and just, you know, whatever, you know, is it's gonna be, you know. But, you know, if you can get more than half, because you can make a claim for that, if there's a waste claim, um, if there's some other type of claim, because you can make more than, you know, an unequal split of assets somehow, um, potentially try to make that claim, because there was a something, you know, I don't know. Um, you know, I don't know if Texas is an unequal distribution, or equitable distribution, or community property state, or whatever. But, you know, if there's some way that you can make an unequal split of assets somehow, just, I would look at it agnostically like that. But from a much bigger perspective, the way I would look at it is from an abundance point of view. And the abundance point of view is the spiritual point of view. And that is that you're a young guy, you can make more, it's just stuff, and you are whole and complete, and you can always, you know, whatever it is, it's just stuff. And you are, you've won in the game of life.
Well, that's excellent. Yeah, that's actually very comforting to be reminded of, because you're right. It's not about the stuff. The petty side of us, the petty side of me, lets it go that way sometimes, and I have to be, you know, pull myself back. And having, you know, had the benefit of an attorney, they have said the same thing. Absolutely, completely aligns with what you're saying, and Texas courts are generally are an equitable distribution approach. But if you've got, you know, whether you're working with an attorney or not, the ability to consider premature distributions of things is something that at least Texas courts will consider. So it's not, you know, there's no fixed date in the sand. Like you've split it, you've separated two households, and then this one spouse or the other can now come at more stuff. Uh, just looking for the equitable, and it's the at least in our case, it's probably mostly financial things like 401ks and savings accounts and vehicle values, the trivial stuff, but it's the things that have to be worked through. And part of why we're here is one side will tend to want to make that as high conflict as possible. They want to fight over every little thing. What you're telling me, and I take that to heart, is the more we can let go, the more we take their power away and expedite and smooth the process. Is that kind of accurate summary of that? Love that. Long story short is divorce is disruptive, so we're here to make it as easy as possible. It doesn't need to be life destroying. That's my goal. That's part of my strategy. Is this is not going to destroy my life. And I'm not out to destroy my soon-to-be ex-spouse's life. We're going to go our own ways, and we need to make it work.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You want what's fair, you want what's equitable, you want you want your authentic power. I mean, you know, this is all about, the sleigh is all about having that true authentic power. And you know, I always say, you know, screw being nice. I mean, I was nice most of my life, and that ended up, with me being like run over or whatever. I mean, so, you can be kind, you can be a good person, and you can have all of those things, and you can also have really strong boundaries, and you can assert yourself. And that's my new mantra: no icky people under the tent. And that's why we actually do interview personally every single person who comes into my high conflict negotiation certification program, because I want to know who's coming in, because it is a community, because it is supportive, because we do, make sure that every single time I start a class, I tell people, this is a sanctuary, this is a safe space, this is your place of community, because it is very, very important to me. And so you can be strong, you can be a good person. And so the bottom line is, you're now thinking in terms of abundance, and abundance means supportive. That means when one rises, we all rise. And that's the new you. The new you is a community of people that we all rise. And so it's okay. The why in Slay is you, and you're strong and you're whole, and she's a person who's fear-based and thinks from that, and she's always going to be that type of a person, right? So take what's yours, take what the law provides to you to the fullest extent, and then go.
Yeah. I love that, and that's part of what grabbed me both from the Slay the Bully book as well as Negotiate Like You Matter is, and you said it well. It's being a nice person does not mean rolling over, particularly in this negotiation process. Not looking to take anything that's not appropriate, but negotiate for for us. Part of my story is this is actually, unfortunately, my second divorce. And the first one, I rolled over. I thought I was doing the right thing, being the nice guy, and I ended up bankrupt because of it. Because I kept car payment, the house payment, the credit card payments, and she basically took, in the first marriage, took all the assets, which was most of the furniture and stuff like that. So, and it didn't take long before I realized that I had really not thought that through. And the Slay program, the high conflict coaching, really highlighted that difference in approaches. It's really, you're going to have to litigate for yourself, even with an attorney. You need to support that. And the program gave me the confidence to do that at all levels. And again, my bio, I kind of talk about that. I mean, I started out interested in, okay, what does this mean to slay the bully? Who's the narcissist? How do you negotiate with them? And realizing it's much bigger than that. And when we became aware of the high conflict coaching program, I'm like, I do have a coaching background, training background. I thought that's a perfect fit, because if I need this, I'm not feeling like I have the support. I need this. There are other people that need it as well, and I want to be able to help them. And being able to do that as part of even within the program, is a perfect case study. It works amazingly well. I mean, both the success stories that I've heard from the program, from people participating, as well as the painful sob stories of what they're going through, what their high conflict individuals put them through, it sounds a bit much to say life changing, but it really is. There's no better word for it. It's changed my view on all of it. We would never know. Most of us suffer in silence. Men tend to be more so, but that's not, there are plenty of women out there suffering in divorce negotiations for no reason.
There's a lot of men in our program. A lot.
There are.
Yeah. I mean, it's not just women. I'm so grateful to have, be able to help a lot of people. And I was just talking to my team this morning, and Carrie, who's one of the people on our team, said that you pulled me out of the grave. One of the people said that just signed up this morning. And I said, I'm not surprised. I mean, which is so, it seems almost dramatic to hear that, but I hear that all the time. I mean, I had somebody just on an airplane just recently come up I was on the aisle, and they came up the aisle and literally just like hugged me and cried. And
Wow.
so, yeah. So it's, I'm grateful, but it's, I always say to God be the glory. And, I'm a very spiritual person, so I always say to God be the glory. So I'm just a conduit.
We're just passing it forward, sharing it forward.
Yeah, truly.
Spreading the support.
Yes,
This world's
truly.
tough enough. We need islands of safety and security and places to share what we're going through. And this program has definitely been that for me. But also very practical, putting it to use for myself, and then hopefully very soon for others. So
Yes, yes. So, what's one or two pearls of wisdom that you want to share that you might have learned? Oh, you just froze there. Or was it me that froze? Am I still on?
matter. You probably haven't heard that a lot in years, but that's absolutely the case.
I think you
Support is out there.
froze. So, what was one or two pearls of wisdom?
Yeah, I saw we lagged a little bit. The first pearl of wisdom is you matter. So whether you can someone can get into the programs or start with some of the books that you've put out, Rebecca, Negotiate Like You Matter, Slay the Bully, those the certainly aspects of them that start with you are worth it, you matter. The second pearl of wisdom is I think I would summarize it as what you were saying about being a nice person. A lot of people that come to this program are some level of empath, or generally the nice people. Most likely did not do anything specific to warrant a divorce. And then it doesn't matter, because it's most likely it's a done deal by the time you've come here, or there's no backing up the train. But so being nice doesn't mean letting yourself get walked over. You have to negotiate on your own behalf, whether you're going to do it pro se or with an attorney. The materials and the program will give you what you need. It won't answer all the questions for you. Right? The program doesn't do it for you. It gives you the tools to do it. You're going to have to do the hard work, because the why inside is you. I'm not you, you're not me. I can't tell you what's important to you. I can't tell you what your strategy needs to be. I don't know what your high conflict person, what they are going to do, the gifts they're going to give you with their type behavior, their high conflict behavior, but they're going to give you some. The program gives us the tools to recognize them when they happen and take advantage of them to benefit yourself. I would finish that with saying what still echoes in my mind as a key point is the negotiation is about ethically manipulating the manipulator. To me, that's powerful. That phrase comes up in my mind all the time. We're staying within ethical boundaries. We want to do the right thing, but yes, you may need to manipulate them to get the result that you deserve. Deserve is a loaded word, but that is based on your strategy. Deserve what you desired in your strategy.
Yeah, absolutely. So good. And you know what? I always say send them light, but over there.
Yep.
Over there.
Wish them well over there.
Over there.
Go with God that direction.
Over there.
Yeah.
Exactly. not in your space. And, you know, having a community in our community of coaches really helps because you've got that support. So for anybody who is interested in becoming a coach, I would definitely say join us, book a call, RebeccaZung.com /book with us, RebeccaZung.com /book with us, because, you know, I really think that if you are called, you feel called to become a coach, it's such a powerful community of coaches. So I can't stress it enough. So if you're feeling called to become a coach, you are thinking about it at all, RebeccaZung.com /book with us. And thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
And absolutely adore you. I'm so proud of you and so grateful for you. So grateful.
So grateful for your program. It really is. I mean, you guys won't believe me unless you participate. Those who are still watching, but it is life-changing.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you all. And enjoy the rest of your day, and God bless you all. Thank you, Kevin. All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Shopify helps millions sell billions around the world through their digital courses, through their digital products at the touch of a button on their smartphones, on social media, however they want, including me at shop.rebeccazung.com. You can access your store from all over the world, just the touch of a button from your smartphones. Start accepting payments. Everything you need to sell online, manage orders, and develop relationships in one place and look fabulous doing it. Shopify is the commerce platform that is revolutionizing millions of businesses worldwide, including my own, at shop.rebeccazung.com. So right now, what you need to do is sign up for a $1 a month trial period at shopify.com/bestlife, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/bestlife to take your retail business to the next level today. Shopify.com/bestlife.